Chapter 2, Acquisition Community Connection Operations Management. The Defensive Acquisition University Global Learning Technology Communication is responsible for the management and operation of the acquisition community control infrastructure management responsibility, including planning, budgeting, operation, maintenance of the system, as well as developing preceding infrastructure controls needed for the launch and build and sustain viable community of practice collaborative workshop. The Defensive Acquisition Community Connection Support Teams ACC at DAW Mill serves the technically and administrative staff supporting all aspects of software operation and user support. The Defensive Acquisition University will closely with the Office of Secretary of Defense and Service Organizations to support the defense of the communities of practice. For the final decision, use of the Acquisition Community Connection to host the community will reside in the Defensive Acquisition and Selection process. Prior to the consideration will give these communities that have demonstrated a clear sense of business need, articulated with the expected organizational gains and made with the commitment with the continued growth and sustainment of the community. These questions will help the access level readiness of the establishing community of the practice as well as potential of the success. Is there top level community sponsorship of the existing sense of the community with the target stand up? Is there a sense of energy, passion around the community? Is there a recognized need for the community can provide with those providing with the defensive acquisition workforce? Is a significant critical issue facing the community for the knowledge sharing can positively impact the implies with a sense of urgency around the issue? And are the resources, money, and people to support the community? Once a community is in its content or created with the challenge becomes to sustain the content. The accomplished Defensive Acquisition University uses both internal and external community practitioners. Internally, Defensive Acquisition maximizes the use of its faculty and staff with their particular areas of expertise to more closely tie the course of content with relevant communities. Externally, Defensive Acquisition current subject matter experts for the service other than government agencies, industry, and assist with the owning, support of the development and growth of a community. See the community sponsor role. Chapter 3, the Acquisition Community Connection operates under the following principle. A community proposes support of business driver objects of the acquisition community and adds value. Community memberships and add participation voluntarily. Communities are self-directing and they set their own agenda and determine their own focus. Communities are responsible for the configuration and maintenance of their content. Content must be regularly reviewed for the accuracy, outdated, but the content must be removed for the archived, etc. However, the GLTC knowledge of the project officer stand to assist the details of maintaining the certified community of practice where required. Communities within the acquisition community connection will adhere to the consistent themes in the user interface, thereby easing the navigation. Community roles assigned with the operating with the established business rules of the acquisition community connection. See Chapter 3 for roles and responsibility. Community members, editors, leaders are responsible for ensuring the content is accessible for the public, releasable for the general public, and the information restricted workspace conforms to the applicable Department of Defense guidelines with under no circumstances is classified information to be posted in the acquisition community connection. Copyrighted material not to be posted on acquisition community connection except for the defined under the rules of engagement in its section below. Chapter 2, Rules of Engagement. The Acquisition Community Connection provides collaborative capability that allows the individuals to share, connect, across the organizational boundaries. The special nature of the Acquisition Community Connection uses it to participate, contributing to the continuing content, responding to the questions, engaging in the professional networking because much of the content at Acquisition Community College is open to the general public. It is important to adhere to the following rules to engagement of the contributing content with the Acquisition Community Connection. Please review the legal notice for the Acquisition Community Connection, Defense of Acquisition Mill legal notice for more information. The Acquisition Community Connection is an unclassified system. Do not contribute to the classified information anywhere in the Acquisition Community Connection. Only public or reasonable information can be posted in the spaces accessible for the general public. Community editors may request to add limited distribution materials, including but not limited to sensitive but unclassified for use of official use only, but not included but not reasonable for foreign nations or no foreign to restricted spaces only. They will be considered on case-by-case basis, but under the circumstances will not be distribution materials allowed by in any public spaces requested and to be posted. The information kind should be addressed to the chief editor of the Acquisition Community Connection at dau.mil. Must be approved by the Acquisition Community Connection government lead. Should the request be granted, but the poster must ensure that all the such documents are properly marked in accordance with the Department of Defense guidance. Do not contribute items that discuss information that could place the service members in jeopardy, that would use the adversaries' technical information about the specific Department of Defense operational plans, troop rotation, schedule, position, movement of the U.S. naval aircraft, naval crafts, or description of overseas military bases, vulnerabilities, weapons, and systems. Do not contribute to business-sensitive, copyrighted, priority information or unlicensed restricted software. Copyrighted materials may only be posted at approval with the authority. Copy of the authorization should be attached with the posting instead of the posting of the document, considering inserting a hyperlink on the copywriter's to the copyrighted holder site. Inactive accounts without current contact information, email address, or phone number will be dismissed and deleted. Members agree to the acquisition community connection for the intended purpose and expected or encouraged to participate as follows. Keep the personal profiles updated. Post a photo of the appropriate for the use of the government website. Suggest the contributed content, the use of the practitioners. Engage in discussion and any questions. Interact with the peers and subject matters experts. Become a member of the community. Subscribe to content and tag or blog about the content. Members are not limited to do the following. Are not permitted to do the following: promote personal agendas, market commercial items, abuse email privileges. With a permission to send email to large distribution lists, it should be used sparingly. Inappropriate use of emails using email from spamming purposes will be grounds for revoking membership. Accountability, eligibility. Since the start of Acquisition Committee Connection, users from beyond the traditional Department of Defense have proven very valuable, active members of the community, and all participants have been benefited from the diverse level of collaborations. According to the Acquisition Committee Connection support teams, using the following criteria to determine the eligibility for managing the Acquisition Committee Connection account membership, the permission needed for the contributing the content in the Chapter 4. Individuals from the Department of Defense, other government agents, federal, state, local government, mail address are eligible for the accounts contract, subject contractor with government contracts who are verified in the General Service Administration websites are eligible for the account. All memberships of the applicants individual reviewed by the Acquisition Committee Connection support staff and are approved and validated. The use of MilGov and defense contractor email address will be expedited processing of the account, and individuals must be provide enough information during the registration to support due diligence verifying the account of the Acquisition Committee Connection. Chapter 3, Roles and Responsibilities.